Hey y'all, it's your Texan chess player back with it's your Texan chess player, and I'm gonna be teaching you a beginner chess lesson. So let's get into it. So the first piece I'm gonna be showing you is the pawn. Now, before I get into the lesson, just know this is if you ever watch these chess video, if you ever watched if chess videos ever popped up on your feed, this is how they create those absurd positions in chess. They go to this. They go to set up position. And they put like 30, 40 queens on the board, which is I don't even know how to describe it. But so if you ever want to check this out for yourself, the website is chess.com. You can see it in the top. You can see it in the top left of my screen. But without further ado, let's get into this lesson. So let's zoom in on the pawn. No, I don't want to zoom in. So the first, this is a pawn. It's a little guy. Crap. This is the This is the front. This is the front line infantry. Um. It does all the fighting up front, but it's brave enough never to go backwards. So I'm gonna show you that on the digital. I have this thing where I can just go A. On its first move, it can go on its first move, it can go 1 or 2. You can see on the arrows. This is its first move. After it moves, however, it can only move 1 square. And let's say there's a piece here. You can capture this piece diagonally. But here's the catch. They cannot capture forward. Say there's a piece in front of this pawn. You can't get past it in any way with your pawn. Can't capture it. Can't go around it. Nothing. You can only go forwards with these pawns and capture diagonally. You can't go left. You can't go right. And you can't go backwards. All these moves are a big no. Big no. You can't do any of these. You can only move forward. And capture diagonally. However, on your first move, let's say your pawn moves from e2 to e4, is on e2. You can move to e4, which is 2 moves, 2 squares on your first move. Now let's get rid of this. Oh. Now here's another thing about pawns I need to show you. When they get to the other side of the board, they can promote. either to a queen, which is the most popular, which is the most recommended option, unless you're in another position, which we're not going to worry about that right now. Or it can promote to a rook, a knight, or a bishop. And when you don't promote into a queen, it's called under promotion. That's because you're not promoting to the queen to its full potential. And you can't promote to a king, and you can't stay a pawn. You have to promote. When you reach the other side of the board, you have to swap that. You have to swap that pawn for another piece. And no, that does not mean take one of your own pieces and put it and teleport it to where that pawn is. You add a new piece to the board. Now let's talk about the bishop. These are the sharpshooters, or the snipers. So you got a bishop right here, and your opponent attempts to move their queen. Oh crap! I did not mean to do that. Let me reset the position. Opponent tries to move their queen right here. Oh, this is checkmate. This is checkmate. Nope. You have this is your bishop can take this. And the bishop can only stay on its favorite color. So you have a dark squared bishop. That's the color it's going to stay on the entire game, and it can only move diagonally. So let me do that on my arrows. Only move diagonally. Shift A. No sideways movement. Crap, I did not mean to do that. And it can't go forward either. And it captures how it moves. I did not mean to add another queen there. Sorry about that. It captures how it moves diagonally. Remember, it can only stay on its favorite color. It can't capture. Let's say you have the dark square. Okay, not the way it works. Let's say you have a dark square. Let's say you have a rook right here. So I'll tell you about the rook later. It cannot move here. It can't move. It can't move here to capture it. That would be an illegal move. So there's the bishop for you. And feel free to I accidentally bumped that, sorry. And also this video is for people that want to learn chess, but they don't know what this for people that want to learn chess, or people that don't and people that don't know how to play chess and need a video to help them. So feel free to save this video for future use if you ever need it. Now, without further ado, let's get into our next piece, the knight, which I'm going to refer to as the outlaw. Why is it called the outlaw, you may ask? Because it does not move in straight lines. It moves in L shapes. Here, let me move it. Let me put it in the center of the board so I can show you its full potential. It can move here. It can move here. It can move here. Move here. Oh, crap. You could just see that right there. You highlight. Oh, crap. I keep accidentally clicking knight. Man, sorry about that. It can move here. 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 Move here. Move here. And here. When it's in the center of the board, it can see 8 squares. And what it means to see is that it can go to 8. It can go to 8 squares. As long as one of those squares isn't obstructed. That's why it's better if you have your knight in the center of the board rather than on the side, because when it's on the side, it sees half the squares. It would have. It sees half the squares that it sees only 4 squares, whilst in the center it sees 8. That's why it's better to have your knight in the center rather than on the sides. They're saying knights on the rim are dim. That's because knights on the sides and corners can only see knights on the edge can see 4, and knights on the corner oh crap, that's not what I meant to do. Knights in the corner of the board can only see two squares. So that's why it's better to have your knight in the center. If that's not possible, your best option is to have it on the edge, have it on the rim. This right here is the rim of the board. This is the rim of the board. Minus the corners. We want to highlight all these squares. This is the rim. This is the rim of the board, or the edge. But it's better to have your knights in the center. See, this is the center right here. Actually, wait a minute. That's not right. This is the best place for your knights to be, in the center. This ring this ring around these 4 squares right here. This is the center right here. And that ring around it is the sub-center. You want to fight for the center when you're playing a game, but we'll get to that later. Now let's go to the next piece, the rook. If you watched any Gotham chess videos, you'll see that he loves to sacrifice it. The rook. He loves to say that when he sacrifices it. But so the rook, say it was in the center of the board, it can go It can go left, right, up, and down. Go left. It can go up. It can go down. Go left, and it can go right. As many squares as it wants, as long as those squares aren't obstructed. This is I'm going to refer this as the heavy artillery, because it can fire itself all the way across the board, as long as there's nobody in its path, as long as there's no pawns in the way. Which I already showed you the pawns, the front line infantry. It captures the same way it moves. Say, let's see, have a knight, so somebody just left there. You can capture it. And if you're wondering, this is all the same thing. This is all the same for black. The black side. The person playing the black pieces, the dark pieces. It's all the same. There's also another thing. With the rook and another piece I'll get to at the end. So watch the rest of the make sure you watch the rest of the video to find out about that. Now let's go to the most powerful piece besides the king, the queen. This is the most powerful piece in all of chess besides the king, which I'll get to later. After this one, this is the sheriff, which does not make actually. Sheriffs can be any gender. Even though the word sheriff sounds like it would be a man, sheriffs can be any gender. So I don't support sexism. The king, not the king, the queen can go anywhere. It can go as many squares as it wants. So it can go up, down, diagonal. See on here. It can go up, diagonally right, diagonally up to the right, diagonally up to the left, sideways to the left, sideways to the right, diagonally down to the left, diagonally down to the not diagonally down, straight down, and diagonally down to the right. That means a queen can see all of these squares. It's basically a knight. Basically a rook and a bishop combined, which doesn't make sense because it's worth which doesn't make sense because it's worth 9 points. Which the 9 point, making it worth 9 points doesn't make sense. It should be worth 8, but I don't know. I'll talk about piece value later, but this is the most powerful piece in all of chess just because of how many squares it can see. And I know I've already told you about this a lot of 500 times, but it captures the same way it moves. It can go in any direction, as many squares as it wants, as long as it's not obstructed. And that also means you do not want to blunder. So, say there's a bishop right here. Oh wait, I did not mean to do that. Sorry about that. Why do I keep adding queens to the board? Okay. Say you have a bishop right here, and you move your queen right here. Tell me why this is a blunder. Go ahead and pause the video and tell me why this is a blunder. That is because this bishop right here, change it to black to move, can take the queen. And when I tell you about piece value, you're going to want to keep your queen safe. But I'll tell you about piece value and all that stuff in another video. Anyway, let's get to the final piece of the game. The king. And this is that's the piece that's going to do the thing with the rook, which I'll get to after I tell you how the king moves. So let's say the king's right here. It can move this. I'm going to refer to this as the gold vault. That's because this one piece decides if you win or lose. This is just a video explaining how the pieces move. I'll get to like checks and checkmates and all that in another video, but this is all the squares it can go to, as long as none of those squares are obstructed or attacked by an enemy piece. You know what? Let's just get into checks. Let's just get into why this king can't move to a piece. So let's say you have rooks on both sides. Your king, this king, cannot go to these squares because they're being attacked. And why is that important? Because this king cannot move in a check. A check is when when your king is attacked and would get captured on the next move, which the king cannot actually get captured. It would have to move out of check. So let's say, oh crap, I did not mean to do that. Okay, that's an illegal move. Do not do that. Let me reset the position so I can show you. So you have two rooks right here. And your king is just sitting in the center going duh, 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 because it doesn't know what to do. And your opponent moves a rook right here. This would be a check. See, this rook is attacking the white king. And this rook has this file, so your king can't go to this square. These three squares are attacked. So the king must move out of check. Either to this square or to this square. Let's say the king moves to this square. That's good. You got out of check. When your king is checked, you must do one of the three things. So let's move the king back to the square, even though that's illegal. I'm just resetting the position. You can either capture the checking piece. So let's say you had a queen here. You can capture the checking piece. But this would be a blunder because the rook could just capture that piece, capture it. Or the queen can block the check either here here. Hold on, let's just do that. Either here, or it can block it here, which is the safer option because if the rook decides it wants to capture, your king can capture back. And that was all the piece movements, but I want to show you the final thing I was talking about with the king and the rook. It is called castling. And your king can move to... Hold on. Your king can castle. Hold on a minute. Just give me a moment while I reset this board. Alright. I know this looks like a complete mess, but this is how I have to show you the castling. So let's say you've done the opening. You've got out all your pieces. Hold on, no, not right there. You've got all your pieces. Now, this is wide open for you to castle. Now, I'm not telling you to do this position. I'm just trying to show you what castling looks like. So, see how the king has 2 dots right here? You move your king 2 times, and you castle. Now, in a regular game... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I get it. Castling's not enabled. I get it. So let's reset this position. Man. So let's say... you've got all your pieces out. White always goes first. Now you can castle. Oh my god, why does this thing keep doing this crap? I have castling enabled. That's weird. Because hold on a minute. I apologize. This thing's being dumb. Black to move. You get all your pieces out. Get all your pieces out. It's all good. And now you can castle. Please work. I swear. Anyway, this thing, it works in a regular game. Just trust me. This thing just being the stupidest thing possible. But also, you can castle. You can castle. This is called castling short. But you can also castle long. Let's say you're in this position right here, getting all your crap. That's so... I don't understand why does this thing do this? Anyway, you get all your pieces out. Now both sides are ready to castle. This is called castling long when you move your king 2 squares there. Your rook goes here. You can also castle long. Castling long is also called castling queenside. It's better to castle short because your king is farther from the center. You do not want your king to be in the center because it can get checkmated easily. Let's see. Let's just clear the board. It also works, and also castling works for black too. In case you were wondering, now I'm going to show you what checkmate is. So let's say the black king, he forgot, your opponent forgot they are not supposed to have your king straight in the center, and you have a rook. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Rook. You have 2 rooks right here. This would be a checkmate. This would be. Hold on a minute. Say the king was here. He escaped the check from your rook right here. This rook was checking the king. So he moves out of check. And now your queen can go here. This would be checkmate if you went here, because this would be checkmate if his queen went here, because the king has no safe squares to go to. So let's say queen goes here. All of the possible escape squares are covered. Meaning this would be an unfortunate checkmate. So that's what checkmate is. When you check the king and it has no escape squares to go to. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. In my next video, I'll be showing you. Let's see. Just give me a second. It's 10 a.m. No, 11 a.m. We all get brain fog. I'll be showing you some I'll be showing you some openings you can play against your I'll be showing you how to set up your chessboard. Well, on digital it'll be already be set up, but if you're playing on a physical chessboard like this, check that out. It's carved from walnut wood, and I got the chess clock and everything. You can see it works. It's in perfect condition. And here's the flag. It's in my profile picture. So this is the entire. This is the. This is the chess set. I'm gonna be showing you how to set it up. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and comment down below. Comment down below. What you want to see in future videos. Goodbye, y'all.